Riff Ram Wahoo. The Cats are Big 12 champs in 2022. They take down the Horned Frogs 31-28. They get the game that matters. It's incredible what happens when you don't have to play your third string quarterback. And the Wildcats showed that they earned the first game in Fort Worth. They got to repay the favor down here. Big win for them. 31-28 the final score. Ty Zentner kicks the game-winning field goal in overtime. Let's start with that because it was the TCU game that Chris Tennant lost his job in and led to Ty Zentner taking over as a kicker. He's now 9 of 9 on field goal attempts this year, and he buried the big one.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I feel like, Mason, there's a ton of different storylines that are kind of poetic in this game, and I think that one in particular is one that needs to be talked about. Chris Tennant's struggles this season were well documented by not just us, but a lot of people, and there was a lot of concern about whether Chris Tennant can come in and be successful this year as K-State's kicker, given his past and the struggles that he maybe had. He shut all those doubters down, and he drilled that 31-yarder, and people talked about, players talked about, Kleiman talked about how there was zero doubt in the world that he was going to go out there and make it. And Will Howard told a funny story that when he walked out onto the field, he said to Chris Tennant, going to the Big 10 championship game. And Chris Tennant, you know,
a Big 10?
Or sorry, Big 12 championship game.
Big 12 of 10.
Yeah, exactly. The numbers, they're all wrong. He says to, and Chris Tennant responds and says, I got you, or something along those lines. So it's just like the poetry of it all is really, really cool.
Yeah, it was a big deal. Before that, though, K-State wins the toss. So shout out to Adrian Martinez, who wins the toss, goes out there. K-State goes on defense. Max Duggan got close. It had to be reviewed. They still ruled him short. And then on third down, I thought it was still second down. I was confused. They get a stop. And then monster play at the end. Daniel Green gets an arm tackle, and Eli Huggins is able to come in and finish the job, and K-State keeps Kendre Miller short of the end zone. I question Sonny Dykes going for it in the first overtime like that, and especially the way that the plays were called. But the K-State defense, who had a brutal fourth quarter, they came up big in overtime.
Yeah, and really, I kind of want to focus on that as well. I would have gone for it on that fourth down if I was TCU. I probably would have put the ball in my likely to be Heisman Trophy finalist. I imagine he's going to be in New York. I thought he would be in New York heading into this game, and the way he played, I think he certainly locked that spot up. And really, if you watch TCU's run throughout the year, Mason, they put the ball in his hands when they need to play. You've got him in the position to tie the game and get to overtime in the first place, and I just think it becomes really easy to defend a run up the middle, where get the ball on the edge, run some play action, put the ball in your best player's hands, and let him go make a play, especially when you've got a first-round wide receiver and you've got a tight end who's had a really good game in Wiley. There to catch the ball if you got to throw it.
A couple of things to note in this game. Deuce Vaughn, it was a classic Deuce Vaughn game, 130 yards, a touchdown, including the big one for 44 that gave K-State a ton of momentum. On top of that, RJ Garcia catches his first touchdown of his career in the Big 12 championship. He went up for it. I think my words were, holy hell, RJ Garcia, when he caught it, because you don't anticipate that. But he was in the game because Malik Knowles had to exit with an injury. He said on Instagram Live after the game he's going to be good for the Sugar Bowl. We will see. Echo Boydo had to exit with an injury, which means Kean Garber, who less than a month ago made the switch from receiver to corner, got actual action in the Big 12 championship game, made some plays out there, and Chris Kleiman said that he was on the scout team until Thursday when they said, hey, in case Jacob Parrish can't go, you're in. Turns out it was Echo Boydo, and he was able to get the job done for K-State. So a lot of moving parts with the game on Saturday. The Cats pulled through. They win 31-28. They can erase any of the doubts on maybe there's a 1% chance they don't go to the Sugar Bowl. They will be in New Orleans on New Year's Eve to face whoever it is from the SEC. Could be LSU, could be Alabama, could be Tennessee. They'll just have to wait and find out tomorrow morning like everybody else. That'll do it for Alec and I from the Big 12 Championship at AT&T Stadium, where the Cowboys are going to pummel the Colts tomorrow. But for today, it was the Cats on top of the Frogs, 31-28.